Okay, so let's get in our airship. And we're just going to go up here to Dinosaur Forest. And I want to show you guys some of the hardest random encounters in the game here. Let's be sure to save my game before we get in trouble. And if one of these guys wants to fight me, there we go. Brachiosaur. Now this guy is the hardest random encounter in the game. Thankfully, you can use Realm's control technique to keep it from attacking you. And once you have it controlled, as long as you only use magical attacks, then you should be able to attack it without it attacking you back. Now, ice is its weakness, but I don't have Blizzaga. I probably should have trained to get Blizzaga. Blizzard is going to have to do the job so far, but I've got Phantom Rush, I've got Grand Delta, so I should be okay. Now, we don't want to have Realm choose any of her attacks because both the attack and the special command will free Brachiosaur and he'll no longer be controlled. So we just want to skip her turn whenever it comes up and just use our other 3 party members to beat it down. Oh, it missed. I guess it has some decent magic evasion. If I can see the stats, I want to see if it'll show me just how much HP this thing has. Take a look at the stats here. So it's level 77. A lot of HP there, and MP. It is weak against ice, as I said. Yeah, if you're going to do a lot of grinding in the Dinosaur Forest, it's actually better to get Blizzaga first, and then you can deal more damage with your magic, but this will get the job done. Like I said, I'm not going to do a whole lot of grinding here. I do have a file saved where I powered up my team, and I'll probably cut to that file, but I just want to show you guys some of these battles first. So that's the Brachiosaur. Get lots of experience and magic. Strajo learned a spell here. What do we want to have him work on next? Flare. Well, I'm going to start running Flare from a new Bahamut Magicite. Now, Tyrannosaur, you can use control on them as well, and that works. And, yeah, pretty much the same attack pattern as fighting the Brachiosaur. Now, if you don't use Realm or you don't want to bring her along, you don't find her that useful, something else you can do is you can put the Tyrannosaur to sleep. The Brachiosaur is immune to sleep, but the Tyrannosaur is not. So, okay, and it's dead. But you can already see the levels that we're starting to get here. We're powering up pretty quickly. So, probably just do one more battle here. But you can kind of see, I'll show you using sleep this time in case you don't like using Realm or you don't feel that you're not going to bring her on the team, then you can cast sleep on this thing. And once again, as long as you only use magic attacks and you don't attack physically, then the Tyrannosaur will not wake up and you can just keep beating it down. I mean, eventually it will wake up. There's that mechanic in the game that enemies and characters won't stay asleep forever. But, I mean, if it does wake up, you can just put it back to sleep again and kill it again, and boom, there you go. Severn learned a lot of nice spells. Anyway. So those are basically the battles that I wanted to show you. That's how you handle the Brachiosaur and the Tyrannosaur. Even at low levels, with control and sleep, you can just basically keep those dinosaurs from attacking you, and you'll pretty much be set. So that was basically everything. I'm gonna cut to my updated file where I did some time leveling up. I'll show you guys the differences, kind of what I got as opposed to where I am now. So take a look at these levels and the level of HP I have. That's the last you're going to see them in this playthrough. And when we come back, I will come back with my new file where I did some grinding, and I'll see you then. Okay, so this is my file with the powered up team. You can see here everyone is at or around level 40, except for Umaro. I didn't really bother to power him up. And you can see here, if I go to my magic, I've learned a lot of spells. Curaga. I've learned Ultima, Death, Flare. So I spent time learning these spells for some of the characters, like obviously Terra and Strajo and my magic users, and also for some of the fighters that don't really have a lot of good options, like Locke. I taught him Ultima and Flare and Death as well. Cyan is the only one who learned the quick spell. So allows the target 2 actions each turn by stopping time for everyone else. This is actually a really good spell for Cyan, because when he casts quick on himself, it stops time for all allies and enemies, which means that you can spend all the time you want building up Cyan's Bushido counter, and no one else is going to be able to make a move. So this quick Bushido technique is probably the best way to utilize Cyan the way he was meant to be used. So I'm definitely going to make use of that. What else to tell you? I maximized out my inventory. As you can see, I have an insane amount of gil. I spent a lot of time in the Miranda Desert building up my spells, so I got lots of money, and I used Edgar's discount at Figaro Castle to buy 99 of pretty much everything I could. 99 remedies, tents, what else? Phoenix Downs, you can see here. For Shadow, I made sure to get 99 Fuma Shurikens and lots of elemental scrolls for throwing. Pinwheels would be better, but it takes a long time. Since you can't buy pinwheels, you can only steal them or trade Fuma Shurikens in the Colosseum to upgrade them. So I didn't really feel like going that route, but I definitely wanted to make sure I had 99 Fuma Shurikens, so I did that. One other thing I did, I think it's actually equipped on another party member, so I'm going to have to unequip everyone here. All members. And I dispelled the curse on the curse shield, giving me the Paladin shield. So obviously you can see it's really good defensively and evasively. But not only that, but if I view it here in the menu, Paladin Shield, it absorbs 4 elements and negates the other 4. So this is something that you really want to make sure to get. Basically how I did it was I just went to the Solitary Island, equipped the ribbon and the curse shield on somebody, and because the peepers on the Solitary Island, they die out so quickly, you can just win a whole bunch of battles over and over and over and over again. Now, I actually found out that there is one more dream sequence with Shadow, and I believe staying in the inn at Figaro can trigger it, so we're going to do that. But basically, I got a bunch of party members that need to be kind of restored to full health, so I'm going to be sure to sleep in the castle. Okay, so I didn't get the dream sequence that time. That's okay. Actually, just to be sure, I'm going to stay at an actual inn. And the best inn to stay at is Thamasa, because I can stay there for 1 gil. So let's just swap my party around. Yes, so these two are restored. I'm going to keep shadowing because I want to trigger that sequence. But you can see, like, there are some people that have, like, they don't have full MP, and you want to make sure that they are fully restored. Yeah, there's something weird going on with the right button. When you hold the L and R button, you can move the directional pad to move the airship for trying to land, but for some reason I cannot move the airship right when I hold the L and R buttons. I don't know. It's weird. So let's spend 1 gil. Not like I really have to worry about spending money. Okay. So Games being stubborn doesn't want to give us that dream sequence. Probably what I'm going to do is just keep restoring my team, and then once I get the dream sequence, I can kind of copy it in here. So I might just pause the recording here until I can actually get the dream sequence. Oh, here we go. Finally. Hey, are you all right? Where am I? In a small village called Come on now, pull yourself together. Yeah, so it's not much of a flashback, but you get the idea. Basically, as you can see, I had to come to Doma because for some reason the inn in Thamasa just was not cutting it, but I actually was able to trigger it here in Doma, so that was worth coming out here. So, now that I've got a powered out team of about 40, I have maxed out inventory, and I have, tons of spells and that sort of thing, it is finally time for us to think about tackling Kefka's tower. So let me go up here, and sorry about that. If you remember, it was down here at the start of the World of Ruin where we first started with Celeste, and you can come here anytime after getting the Falcon, but you really want to wait until you have a full roster of characters on your team. Alright, let's land on the tower and start exploring. Alright, we're going in. It's time we took the battle to Kefka's doorstep. What's wrong? The gods of the Warring Triad control the magic of the Esper world. If we destroy them... You're worried about what might happen? I'm not sure, but... Espers, and even magic itself, could vanish from the world. And if that happens... what'll happen to Terra? Alright, so you can see here, just like the Phoenix Cave, we had to split up our team, but again, we're splitting up into 3 parties instead of just 2. Now, there's a very specific formula or arrangement that I like to do with my characters, which I'll start setting up here. The reason I go with this setup is because as you go through the tower, you're going to come across boss battles, and the encounters with the bosses, I've set up these teams to have a good chance of dealing with the bosses that you encounter. For example, you'll see Realm and Shadow, the only two that can equip memento rings, are in the second party, which is very useful since there's going to be an enemy that uses death spells. So that's the way I like to divvy up these teams. Team 1, Locke is on, and Gogo's on Team 3, because I'm going to want to steal from their respective boss battles. And also, I find that these teams overall have a really good mix of both physical might and magic. So this is the way I like to set it up. As you can see, these are the two that I'm going to leave behind. If you're a diehard Gao fan, then I totally understand. I just haven't spent a lot of time in the World of Ruin, specifically building up his rages, so that's probably why I'm not using him. And quite honestly, I just don't find him useful. So in we go. Geronimo down to the tower. The Warring Triad awaits. Yeah, you can hit select to switch between party members. Obviously, I haven't done anything with equipment, so I'm going to take time to do that now before we actually start going through the tower. Where is the Bruggens Glove? There it is. Okay, so she is going to get, let's see here, earring, and there's a gold hairpin, yeah. And he's going to get the Celestiad. We want that Celestiad. There we go. Now, Setzer, I am actually going to give him the Master Scroll. This might not make much sense, but he's going to get a very good weapon that's going to make that relic very useful in a little while. So we're going to set him up with that in mind. Yeah, okay. We want her actually to equip an enhancer and equip that. Okay, and we'll want to start learning some spells here. Now, obviously, I have gotten some pretty good spells from Miranda Desert, but I didn't teach everyone everything, so there's still some spells that I need to teach my team. Alright, so this team is fully ready to go. Okay. And I can just slam the whole party with Grand Delta, which is very nice. Oh, the Vector Lycos. That's kind of a shame. I actually want to get a chance to steal from those things. I believe the Vector Lycos or Lithos, whatever they're called, I believe they have a Thunder Shield that you can steal. Ooh, that thing absorbs Holy, so that's important to note. Uh-oh. This could be bad. There we go. It only hits one person, so that's not actually as bad as I thought it would be. Remedy, I'll take care of that. Boom. Yeah, see, I can just use remedies now, and I don't have to worry about healing independent status effects. Go up here. The Hypno Crown. So this is a piece of headgear for Realm that allows her to increase the chance of using control. So if you want to come here to get this piece of equipment, teleport out of the tower, then you can use control on the dinosaurs a lot more easily. Okay, I should get a chance to steal from these guys. Couldn't steal. Well, I did say I get a chance, right? Let's use Ultima. I mean, you've seen Ultima, but now I get to use it for myself. This is going to kill them off, of course. Yeah. I'm not too worried about elemental protection. I will want to get one more Thunder Shield at some point, but I'm not going to stress over it right now. Basically, by the end of the game, you'll want to have 4 Ice Shields, 4 Thunder Shields, and 4 Flame Shields. So, you know, I'm doing pretty good as far as most of them are concerned. But I do want to get another Thunder Shield. We'll get there. Dark Force. Now these guys are interesting. I have to be careful here because they like to use a lot of the lures, and Strago can actually learn some of these lures if he sees them being used. Well done, you just killed yourself. Good job there, buddy. Good job. There. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gotten a full lore list for Strago. There's a lore called Quasar, which he can use, but once you get Grand Delta, I mean, that's pretty much all you're going to be using. Quite honestly. Alright, and this is the Fixed Dice, which is the weapon I want to get for Setzer. Now, the Master Scroll, it's a good relic, but it's also got a downside, is when you attack with the Master Scroll, it halves your battle damage, so even though you're hitting 4 times, you are hitting for half damage each time. However, the Fixed Dice are not based on battle power, they are based on the roll. So the higher they roll, the more damage they do. So they actually are not affected by the half battle damage effect of the Master Scroll. So you combine them with the Fixed Dice, and Setzer can actually deal out some pretty crazy damage with this combo. Alright, I'm going up here. I'm going down here, or I will. I will try to. Okay, let's let Locke get an attempt off on that thing. Yeah, and then no match there. But we can Grand Delta. Yeah, I will say that once you get into the later stages of the game, magic makes the game so easy. When you can cast spells like Grand Delta and Ultima, especially if you can use things like the Gold Hairpin and the Celestiad to make them dirt cheap, then it's just crazy how quickly you can become OP in this game. And I mean, if you take a look at level, like, yeah, I went up to level 40, but I mean, you could even do this at lower levels. I find 40 is a comfortable place to be. I'm not super overpowered, but I definitely have a good chance of completing the game at this point. Really? Thank you for that. These guys are probably weak against Thundaga, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. Really? That was just cheap. Healing Rod. Just gonna, yep. Sorry guys, but it's Ultima time. Nice knowing you. See what I mean? Just, you know, it's these big boom spells are pretty much the answer to any situation. So we make it here, And it doesn't look like there's any place that we can go. So obviously we are going to have to switch parties here. And we're going to... Oh, actually, before I do that... I'm going to want to set up my relics first. Dragoon Boots, I'm going to leave the Dragon Horn for Mog, so let's give him Miracle Shoes. I want to make sure that she has the Memento Ring. And let's give her... Find it here, the fake mustache. There we go. He's also going to get a Memento Ring. Just a Hyper Wrist will probably be good for him, actually. Raise that strength up. Here we go. Magi has the Dragoon Boots. Alright. Yeah, I'd like to use the organics, except that it really does not hold up well. It can break under jump attack. So I'll probably sell for Zantetsuken for him. Although that's really a better weapon for Cyan. But Cyan's going to be using his Bushido, so again, I don't really need to worry about that. Yeah, so I'm going to give her the Hypno Crown, actually, so we can increase the success rate of control. And I think those are good. Now, is where things are going to get interesting. Trying to share espers across 3 teams. You did see in the Phoenix Cave, you know, how I had to keep swapping espers around, and it looks like that might be something I have to do here as well. Although she's almost learned everything that she can learn already. I mean, she knows Ultima, all the Phoenix spells, the 3 elemental spells. I guess, you know, you can start having her learn something like that. Okay, Moggy's definitely got some stuff that he can start to work on. Alright, let's go. Now, dance. I'm not sure. I think it's the Earth Blues that is the natural terrain for this part of the tower. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. Let's try Flame Scroll. Let's control the big guy. Uh-huh. What about that? What do you think of this? Ooh. I'm gonna use up Shuriken before I start using Fuma Shuriken. I can use Meteor on this guy. Force him to use it on himself. Sonic Boom doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. Boom. Yeah, and it still did a lot of good damage, even though... When you use Jump, you want to have a spear equipped, because I believe it does double damage when you do it with a spear, but Zantetsuken actually did a really good amount of damage. I was not expecting that much from Edgar's Jump. Alright, so anyway, we will continue in. Three Great Malboro. Well, here we go. Now, they are weak against Fyra, so you can, you know, use Fyraga. Or you could just, you know, go for an Ultima. I don't think he knows... Yeah, he's better off using tools. Boom. Grab, Okay, another Minerva Bustier. So I already have 2 for the 2 female party members. Realm cannot equip it. I believe you can bet it in the Colosseum for a Regal Gown. I'm not sure if the Regal Gown is better than the Behemoth suit, though. Alright, I want to do something here with Edgar. I believe these guys can be affected by instant death. So I'm going to use Air Anchor on them. So basically, this sets an auto destruction effect as soon as that Malboro attempts to make a move. So I'm going to try to ignore that one Malboro, other than using, something like this. But I'm not going to target it. I'm going to ignore it and attack the other 2. Ooh. Okay, so it auto-targeting made him attack that. But the nice thing about Air Anchor is if the enemy tries to make a move, it will make that enemy self-destruct. So again, we need a remedy here. Alright, let's grab the chest here, the pinwheel. Okay, so that's about our time for this episode. When we come back, I will continue to go through Kefka's tower, and we will see what awaits us. I really appreciate you guys coming in to view the videos. If you guys like the videos, please leave a like, please leave a subscribe. It always makes me really happy to see those things on the channel. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you guys again soon.